As you can see, the topic that I'm going to be covering is about domestic violence and sexual assault on college campuses. The video that I will be presenting later on in the presentation does contain a lot of sensitive material and graphic descriptions of certain cases involving sexual assault and domestic violence. If you are not comfortable with that, if that is something that is really sensitive to you, you are more than welcome to step out of the room and then come back as soon as the video is over. This is a safe space, there's no judgment here, so we'll start with that. But before we get the video started, there are a couple of points that I wanted to bring up regarding sexual assault and domestic violence on college campuses. We are currently in a day and age of some of the highest numbers regarding college admissions in the United States. This includes minorities, and this especially includes women that are now getting admitted to these higher education institutions. And while we see an increase of these admissions, we also see an increase in domestic violence and sexual assault cases on college campuses. I'm sure you all are, I'm sure you guys are all aware of these occurrences, as we recently had the Occupy the Quad demonstration about a couple of weeks ago. And it's just something that really needs to be brought attention to, and more so than I'm not going to really be talking about as much as what college campuses need to do, but I'm talking about us as a student body. Because federally speaking, like according to the law, there's really only so much that a college campus can do. But before I can talk about what needs to be done about sexual assault and domestic violence, is that first I need to talk about what that is. So according to the Center for Relationship Abuse Awareness, domestic violence, dating violence, abuse is considered patterns of abusive and coercive behaviors that are used to maintain power and control over a former or current partner. Domestic violence and sexual assault is about power. Any sort of sexual gratification comes second. It's a power dynamic, and it's a fight for control. And that is what makes it so debilitating. Stalking, psychological trauma, physical trauma, threats, isolation, intimidation, all of these are forms of violence and a part of rape culture. Women, especially women in marginalized groups between the ages of 18 and 24, are at the highest risk of being victims of sexual assault or dating violence. Out of every 1,000 university students, 6 of those will experience violence, whether it be sexual or physical, in an intimate relationship, as more of these cases and assaults are performed by friends or partners or family members of the victim. As of 2016, 22% of women reported experiencing sexual or dating violence upon coming to college, not prior, but upon coming to college. Those statistics range from about 22% to about 40%, and the reason being that the gap is so wide is that there are, as we know, many stigmas about reporting sexual assault, as there are lots of social risks and most people don't feel safe. Title IX can only do so much. Under federal law, Title IX only implements that there has to be an investigation of the reported case. It is not legally required to go to court. College campuses cannot legally administer restraining orders, nor can they legally administer jail time to those who have been accused of a assault. So it really does limit what a college campus can do. But as far as going to the student body, as of 2017, 52% of students said that if they saw or heard of a friend or a classmate or somebody on campus who was a victim of, like actively being a victim of sexual assault or domestic violence, that they would not get involved. That really does need to change. And the video that I'm about to show you is as to why. We hear a lot of survivor stories, but what I'm going to be showing you is those who did not. The making of the video was a little bit of a process. I did write and record the music that's playing in the background. The songwriting process took about 24 hours. The recording process took about 4 or 5. And then putting the video together was about 5 or 6 hours. So a lot of time up on this screen right here. But like I said, this is a lot of sensitive content. If you feel uncomfortable, feel free to remove yourself. It's totally understandable, safe space. and please enjoy. I mean, you know, to your fullest extent, it's heavy material, but you know what I mean. Thank you.
I see you in the hall. Can you hear me calling? Baby, it's in your blood. 'Cause when you talk, all I hear are raindrops falling. My angel in the smoke smiles like a star. It's gonna be a cold summer now, I'm sorry. Nothing but a ghost cut like the snow in the morning. Hold me like the sun, and I'm crying for you and all the things you do to me. Then I watch you dance, hands over here. Won't you please dance my way? Daughter of the moon, show me what he did to you. Rest your weary soul on my body. It's gonna be a cold summer now, I'm sorry. Nothing but a ghost colored like the snow in the morning. Hold me like the sun when I'm crying for you and all the things you do to me. Baby blue eyes, second shade of summer heartache. I loved you before I knew your name. I loved you when you were just a face. Be my July forever, and I will take all your pain away. My desires burn like the fires of heaven. Baby, I love you in every holy way. It's gonna be a cold summer now, I'm sorry.
Thank you. As sort of a parting word, these cases that I researched were extremely difficult to find. They were mostly found in local news. None of them really went to more popular news outlets. They were not given very much exposure, and I can guarantee you that there have been more cases like this happening. Locklear's case was probably the hardest to find, which isn't difficult to see because women, especially women in marginalized groups, tend to be the most isolated when it comes to these cases. I would have liked to have had a more diverse panel of victims, but unfortunately, this is what was, this is what was given attention, and little else was. As I get off this podium, I would just like, keep your eyes open, check in on your friends, even if you don't know them, this is a very nice campus full of very nice people, and even if you feel like you don't know them that well, it's probably just better to speak up, just to say that you did something rather than to feel like you didn't do anything at all. So we're a family here. Just watch out for each other, take care of each other, and I'll take any questions or comments if you have any. All right, have a safe day, guys.